What's up, everybody? I'm Sean Finnegan, joined here by Brian Malkowitz.
What's up, guys?
Today we're taking a look at this really cool reveal of the new exotic weapons from the Taken King. Yesterday on Destiny's Instagram, they teased that Xur was going to be coming, and many players, unfortunately, thought that he was going to be making an early appearance in the tower.
I was like really hyping myself on it, just like, oh man, maybe we'll get a new exotic early, and after that I was like, that's no way it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it was later confirmed that it was just an Instagram reveal. We have the photos here for you. These are new Taken King exotics, and the first one that they actually showed is this Titan helmet called EMPYREAN BELLICOSE. Xur says, "I have information, but I do not yet know if you are the one it is meant for. Titans fly like the shadows with the EMPYREAN BELLICOSE. Aiming your weapons while in air will hold you in place for a short time. Orbs collected when your super is full will recharge your melee ability." This is kind of interesting. You mentioned that warlocks have an ability similar to this already.
So Angel of Light is a warlock ability that is exactly the same perk.
You get to hover while ADSing.
You hover while ADSing for a little.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if that's really worthy of an exotic, but it could be useful in practice.
Yeah, it could be useful. Yeah, we'll see how a Titan can handle that. But I mean, I usually when I play a warlock, if I'm playing PvP, I'll use that just for fun. It's more of just fun.
I do like the ability to recharge something else when your super is already full by collecting orbs. That just gives you another reason to collect orbs. So that's pretty cool.
Going back to the aiming thing real quick though, that is a very helpful perk when airborne is a modifier.
Oh, right.
Actually, so you get more damage holding in air, just hitting something for 2 seconds.
Very
helps
smart.
A lot.
Also, the look of this helmet is really cool. I hope that those gears and stuff are rotating.
Ooh, that'd be interesting if you get
the actual like it's moving.
Yeah, I think we'll see that because was it the
knucklehead radar?
Knucklehead radar is the only. I think the only piece of gear that actually does something, right?
Yeah, there's a few, but that's one of them. And also, I mean, this could have the gears moving and stuff. We've already seen in the Taken King trailers that future War Cult Hunter helmet where it marquees across the front, which
is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So if there's some movement in this, that would be awesome. Next up, on the Instagram, Destiny kind of showed us the first exotic weapon, which is the Chaperone, which is an exotic shotgun. This looks very kind of like 1886 shotgun-like, right?
This makes me excited. I mean, I wish I could use this and the last word together.
Yeah, right? Like, this looks very old school by Destiny standards. Xur says, "You must adapt to persist, Guardian. The Chaperone exotic shotgun fires a single slug shot and grants an agility boost when equipped. Your precision kills will grant a brief increase to handling, range, rate of fire, and stability." That's pretty crazy. Yeah. There are a few weapons that add agility. Meta Multi-Tool is one of them. Vex, Mythic Class, if you spec that, upgrade bubble.
Right.
So that's nothing new. But I do believe it's the first shotgun that increases your movement. I could be wrong about that, but I think that is the case. And then precision kills granting you a boost to handling, range, rate of fire, and stability. That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy. So the main question is like, what are the stats before you get that first precision shot?
Yeah.
Like before that first precision shot, how easy is it to get a precision kill to make those stats start increasing? How close do I need to be?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but most of the time, like, I'll get a precision shot about half the time when I kill people with a shotgun just in PvP. Like, I'm roughing that estimate in, but I'll see a yellow number pop up most of the time. What's more interesting about this is it's a single shot slug shell firing thing. So it's like one shot, reload, one shot, reload. That could be super overpowered if it's powerful enough.
Right.
It could also be really underwhelming
if it's incredibly slow the first run. Oh yeah. Because of course it gets better and better as you get more precision kills, but how long until that perk fades to have to do it again? And
also, like, how big is that leap? Like, is it just a minor increase to these stats, or like, is it a huge noticeable difference after getting that? That's also telling. Next one that Bungie revealed is ALCHEMIST'S RAIMENT, which is a warlock chess piece. I just really like the design of this. This looks cool, right?
I hope that glows.
Yeah, or like if it pulses.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it pulses through those colors.
Yeah,
gives me that like Vex architecture type of feel to it.
Also, so much of Destiny's gear is like kind of brightly colored.
Yeah.
I know you'll probably be able, or maybe not, you'll be able to shader this, but I love just the black. Like, it's very black.
Yeah, we don't have enough of that in Destiny.
Yeah, like it's just a straight black, which looks really cool.
Most
besides
warlock
the
exotics don't let you shader.
Yeah. Xur says Warlocks, reshape the world and turn iron to gold with the Alchemist's Raiment. Collecting primary ammo will give you a chance to gain Glimmer, and orbs collected when your super is full will recharge your grenades and melee. So a little bit of a bonus here, also recharging your grenades as opposed to just your melee.
So obvious that it's a PvP or PvE chess piece.
Yeah, I would say this really. I mean, honestly, is this the first straight up farming piece of gear?
I think so. It's very, very farming. I mean,
because when else are you going to use this? That's not a good. You don't gain Glimmer from PvP.
No.
And you don't collect primary ammo in PvP.
Yeah, that rarely happens. So I mean, the only time you ever get ammo is when you're getting it from a special ammo or when heavy drops.
Exactly.
But in PvE, that's all you're really going to do it, and you're going to be farming for it.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something I can see myself putting on and then just grinding out like 10 or 15 strikes back to back. And going from 0 to 20,000 or 25,000 Glimmer or whatever.
What I really like about the second perk, which is also basically the same thing as the Titan Helmet exotic, is the picking up orbs when your super is full. Because when you're a Warlock with Radiance, you have it for a long time.
Right.
Because most time if I'm using a raid or if I'm in a Nightfall, I'm never really going to pop Radiance unless I die.
Right.
So that's going to be great to have that so that way not just a bunch of useless orbs everywhere.
Got it. So now you can actually give them, you'll have some more purpose in using it.
Yeah.
That's good. Next up, they revealed yet another weapon. This is called Telesto. It's a fusion rifle. I am not a very heavy fusion rifle user.
Same.
How about you?
I don't use them very often.
But the design of this looks cool. It's very clean looking, you know? Like, I kind of don't like how every fusion rifle's got the battery charger thing on the bottom. It kind of makes it look a little funny. But, it's, you know, this looks kind of a little bit reminiscent of the Queen's sidearm, the Vestian Dynasty,
right?
Which, you know, it says here on the screenshot.
Queen's Harbingers.
Yeah, so this looks to be a Queen's weapon of some sort, which is cool. Zur says, "An end will come, Guardian. Bring it about sooner with Telesto, a vestige of the Queen's harbingers. This fusion rifle will attach projectiles to foes and detonate with a delayed void blast. Multi-kills with this weapon will drop orbs for your allies." So there's a couple of things there. It sounds kind of like this may be a needler. Like from Halo, right?
Yeah.
You shoot projectiles, it sticks to people, and then after, if you land a couple of them or enough of them, after times, blows
up. Yeah, so we can finally get something to. I hope it tracks.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
You got those Vandals who are shooting you with their basically their needlers because it tracks you wherever you go.
Yeah.
But how do we? I mean, does the initial hit do damage? Is what the main question is.
Yeah. I have to imagine. Excuse me. I have to imagine that if the explosion is kind of the primary draw, then the initial impact has to be kind of low.
Right.
It won't be like, you know, the Messenger where, like, if you can land 2 3-round bursts on the head, they're dead. It'll probably be a lot less than that. But we'll see. I mean, it's really interesting. And that secondary backup where multi-kills with this weapons drop orbs. I just love this idea of, like, all kinds of things are generating orbs now, not just using your super, which is cool. Because, you know, everyone needs more my bros always need more orbs.
Orbs for my bros.
Orbs for my bros. Next up, they revealed yet another piece of armor. These are called the Sealed Ahamkara grasps. These are for
I wonder
hunters.
If it's AHAMKARA.
Maybe AHAMKARA. But these are basically like the AHAMKARA claws. You know, they basically give you an extra thing, except whereas the other ones give you a grenade, I believe this one gives you an extra melee. Zur says, "Hunters, these sealed AHAMKARA grasps are filled with nightmare fuel. They will provide you with an additional melee charge, and your melee damage will have a chance to reload your primary weapon." So this is cool because hunters, I think, I would call hunters melee the weakest melee. Because
the weakest, yeah.
Weakest in terms of strength.
The strength, yeah.
I think Titans probably have the worst melee just because it's so short.
Yeah, you punches in like a really weird angle where it goes nowhere.
He's got T-Rex arms, man. Yeah. They're tiny. Like, you can't really reach out there.
Which no one really punches that way.
But the hunters, like, you can, you know, if you put one shot into someone and then melee, you can kill someone with a Titan melee, whereas it's more like 2 or 3 with a hunter. Right. Like, you have to precision shot with a knife. Or like blink strike, and it still has to be 2 or 3 shots in order to kill someone instantly with that. So the ability to get one extra sort of hunter melee. It's enticing.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see because if you when you get the blink knife, I forget what it's called. Is it called blink strike?
Blink strike,
Blink strike, where you melee and you get to even if you don't kill him, then you get to go. You
again,
go cloak.
a second
and
one.
So once you come back, you can do it again and go cloak again, just right after.
Exactly. I mean, and there are times when like if I miss a shotgun blast and I land the melee, I need to really quickly throw another melee. And I would want that to be like if I can get a second melee, that would be awesome.
That'd
like
be
a
a
second
kill.
strength melee,
Yeah.
that would be really cool. The secondary. Oh, geez, excuse me. It's a little bit sick here. The secondary, I guess, perk is a little bit useless. It gives you it says it will melee damage has a chance to reload your primary weapon, not refill, mind you, reload, which means who's going to be running around with an empty weapon and then meleeing someone and then being like, oh, my weapon's full, like shoot.
Yeah, well, so I think it's more of just like you're running around and you have a hand cannon or something you're shooting, but you can't get it, so you want to get that melee.
Yeah.
So you melee, get the kill, and then when
and
you
then
bring
all
your
of a
hand cannon
sudden
back out, it's full.
Yeah, I mean that could be interesting. Like I said, it's if it was refill, I think it'd be much more useful. Reload makes me feel like you had to have used that weapon primary like before, right?
Right.
Firefight where you're meleeing as a last resort. Or if you're running around for some reason with no ammo in your primary.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. But, yeah. Next weapon, or not weapon, actually, was... Actually, it is a weapon. The last thing that they revealed is the Sleeper Simulant. This is a weapon that people have been talking about for a long time because I believe they've had eyes on it before. I don't exactly know
this
what
isn't
the deal
actually
is.
a new reveal.
Right.
This has been out there in the wild.
Got it. So that makes sense. But it is Sleeper Simulant. This is a heavy fusion rifle. The first...
The first heavy fusion rifle. I haven't seen one.
The first heavy anything that isn't a machine gun or a rocket launcher, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this is pretty interesting. I also kind of like
I've played
how.
this game for a while. I hope I know that.
Yeah. If you're familiar with the Titan gloves, the ACDO feedback fence, the ones that are all spiky.
Right.
It looks kind of like this. It has that aesthetic to it where it's like straight, jagged lines. It looks pretty cool. Zur says. I cannot endure this place any longer. Before I depart, a final offer for you. Sleeper Simulant, a fusion rifle equipped in your heavy weapon slot. This weapon's lasers tears through enemies and ricochets on hard surfaces. Reminiscent of a little weapon we know, Hard Light.
Hard Light, somebody who might be getting left behind. Anyways,
yeah,
not about that.
I'm interested in this weapon because it seems like based on what I've played of the Taken King, there's a lot of enemies. It's like a dense amount of enemies. This could be one of those weapons where it's just like you set it up and you spray them down. You know what I mean? Like you don't.
But how often? Because it's a fusion rifle, right?
Yeah.
So is it going to be like Vex Mythoclast where
it's basically
an auto rifle, but
rifle.
it's basically an auto rifle?
Yeah.
Or are you charging it?
Or
or if you're charging it, is it going to be? Because it looks like it. I mean, I don't know if from the other reveals, is it going to have like a huge burst,
like a cone, kind of
like a cone, and just because it looks like it would do something like that. It would just burst out there, and it's not a normal fusion rifle burst.
Or it's like or based on the design, it could also mean the opposite, which is like a heavily focused beam that just goes straight through everything and bounces around everywhere. I think the interesting thing is the ricochet part, right? Like if it bounces in practice, it sounds really cool, right? Ricocheting off hard surfaces and doing lots of damage to other things that you didn't necessarily intend to damage. But in practice, like if you've used Hard Light, it doesn't really work that way. Like it's not that great.
And also, will the ricochets damage you?
Oh,
is the other question.
Could you headshot yourself?
If you shoot a rocket, you hurt yourself. If you shoot too close. So I mean, this being a heavy weapon, will that ricochet?
I imagine not, but that would be really funny if it could.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't hurt yourself with a machine gun. You can't hurt your teammates with a machine gun.
Yeah, that's true. But the biggest thing about this weapon, I think, is that people are calling it the next Gjallarhorn.
Yes, that is the thing. Is they are calling it the next Gjallarhorn. I don't know why. Really? Do you?
Yeah, it's like I mean, I get it. I mean, you're bouncing off doing a bunch of different damage. There might be some extensive stuff that I think other outlets might have been able to cover this before, but we haven't seen this gun in action.
Yeah, I mean, no one really has. I don't think there's anything to suggest that it is the next Gjallarhorn, except for that it's just the first heavy weapon we've seen from Taken King. That's all.
Right.
So that's pretty much all they had. Oh, one more minor thing about Sleeper Simulant. A Redditor, whose name is escaping me right now, we can probably credit him later, pointed out that subroutine Ikelos?
I'm going to say Ikelos.
Ikelos. That is a subroutine of Rasputin, the AI defense system of Earth, which was, famously taken advantage of, by... if you follow the story of Destiny, you can't see me here, but I'm air quoting the story of Destiny. Rasputin is the AI that's kind of the defense system AI that's kind of tasked with defending the world from the Fallen, and they kind of want to like, you know, infiltrate it and take it over and use it against us. And this might have basically a hint at a little bit of what's going on in the story. Like, what is midnight exogen? Like, who knows what that means? So maybe some Grimoire cards to read there and some Wikipedia to dig on if you're interested in the lore of that stuff.
Right.
So that does it for the Instagram reveal of Destiny. Exotic weapons from Taken King. Brian, thank you very much for joining me and kind of taking this all in.
Yep.
You are already in the right place if Destiny is your game and weapons are your thing, so make sure you stick around because I'm sure there will be a lot more reveals and information leading up to the Taken King. Thank you very much. Take it easy, everyone.